When I was learning React, TypeScript, and everything, I was learning so many concepts, but then I was not actually getting it because I was getting it, but like I always ask myself a question like, when am I going to apply this? When am I going to apply this? How do I even know when I'm going to apply this? It never really made sense putting all of them together at that point, but so today, away from the regular vlogging that I do and all of that stuff, I'm going to talk about my tech journey so far into software development, front end development. And it's been very exciting, it's been very challenging, it's been very humbling, I must say. Over this period of time, I can tell myself, like, I can beat my chest and say, well, you've actually like walked so many steps, you've jumped so many hurdles, and you've come a long way. That is one thing that I said to myself. I may not be like exactly at the point where I want to be at this moment, but I've come a long way in this. And I'm going to tell you a bit of my journey and also give some tips and advice for like people who are trying to get into software development like me at this point in this 2025. And I know this is going to come out as very helpful. So please, if you are trying to get into tech or you are into tech already or whichever level you are into, well, if you're already advanced, this may not be so much for you, but you can stick around and then offer some advice in the comment section as well. But then if you are new into this or you're trying to get into this or you're aspiring to get into this, then this video is obviously for you, and you should try and follow me along and let's get into it. So a bit of the background thing, I originally studied civil engineering back home, and I must say moving into a different country is almost like starting a new life afresh. But then that is one thing about life. The challenges, it helps you to like keep growing, it helps you to challenge yourself. The challenges help you to challenge yourself, and then you come out stronger. You beat that challenge and then you come out stronger. Tech has always been my passion. Anything engineering, but particularly about tech. Just ability to build stuff, make something happen from just ideas of people or your own ideas, or just transform things, find a problem in the society and just solve it. Just having that skill to do stuff like that is so cool for me. So that is one of the things that motivated me to like switch to tech. And then where it gets very challenging is being that I'm also in a different country where it's not so easy to integrate into the system and start working like you want in the field that you already have a skill in. So is you now have to like adjust to working normal jobs and then trying to switch to a new career. Even if in a situation where you are still maintaining the career that you have and you're trying to switch to a new one, it's also very challenging. You're having to do two things, and that is covering your normal job and then having to give an extra time to learn and also like advance into what you want to become. So this is where it gets very challenging. You do the hard work in the morning and then you do the remaining part of it in the evening or whichever time that you set out for it. But hey, this is one thing. Consistency is what pays off in this stuff, because I must tell you, if you're not consistent, if you don't discipline yourself to like get far in this, do not be surprised you're going to fall off. So here are a few things and quick tips that helped me in this my journey as a self-taught developer. So one of the things that helped me majorly is, number one, having a mentor. Okay, there are some people who have the option of going to boot camps. There are people who have the option of going to like what is it called, vocational education, where you have to like study for 1 year. But then there are also people who have this robust opportunity of going to get a degree, like spend 4 years in a university, computer science, or whichever one. But then there are different routes to tech. So whichever one you're taking, you know that you always have to have people who are over you and who are going to show you the way, and they show you the ropes and they lead you by the hand and show you this is this, this is this, this is this. But as for me and my career path, I needed a mentor because I knew that without a mentor, it's going to be difficult. And I did not have the luxury of time going to school again, but I knew I could do it with having a mentor. But I think I was fortunate to have more than one mentor. I had like up to 3 or 4 of them, and they've been so very, 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 very helpful at different levels and at different scales and at different points in time. So this is something that is very important and very helpful, because these people are going to monitor your steps and are going to help you and make sure that you get what you want and you get what you're supposed to get. The first time that I met my mentor, one thing he asked me is, how far have you come learning these things on your own? And when I told him a lot of things that I've covered and some of the courses that I've bought, some of the things that I've been able to do, and he was like, okay, I think at this point, what you need to do is to start building stuff. And this is the second point that I'm trying to make. First thing that you have to do is to get the knowledge, get the basic knowledge, learn everything that you need to learn, and then, go through those courses. Every course that you need, just go through them, acquire all the knowledge that you need. And then the second phase comes in where you start building stuff. Because at that point, when you're learning all those concepts of the stuff, like for me, when I was learning React, TypeScript, and everything, I was learning so many concepts, but then I was not actually getting it, because I was getting it, but like I always ask myself a question like, when am I going to apply this? When am I going to apply this? How do I even know when I'm going to apply this? It never really made sense putting all of them together at that point, but I knew I was understanding, but not to a skill that I wanted. So, but then the moment I met my mentor and he said, you have to start building, like build applications, just code stuff, always like try to build products. That is the only way that you're going to implement all the things that you've learned. And that is one way that is going to help scale your skill. So emphasis on scaling your skill, because at that point you might be that all the things you're learning, they are just going to sound like theories, which you could even be coding along the tutorials that you have and everything, but then it's not enough. And to make this easier, you can actually go online and search projects that you can do to learn and then to advance your skill. And you can search them up, you get them, and then you practice on them, you do so many stuff. And you see that the more you build these projects, it's like you're building, it's like you are actually building real life softwares. And most of the time you're trying to like recreate applications that have been existing already. And the more you build these things, the more you get to understand, oh, the use state, this is what it does. Oh, the component structures. Oh, the naming of the folders. Oh, we have to do this, I have to do that. You get to understand so many reasons and the things and how things happen under the hood. And this actually goes a long way to like sharpen your skills and make you come out extraordinary. And then something else that I would love to talk about is AI. I know we are in the world of AI right now, and you cannot actually do without AI, because everybody uses AI now. This is like a new technology. It's like we're moving into the computer age and stuff. People who had to do stuff manually, and then people now started doing it with computers and stuff. It always seemed like a little sketchy until it became very, very real. So at this point, AI is here, but there is a way to benefit from this as somebody who is trying to get into web development with AI. If you try to give all the work to AI, you are going to lessen the amount of skill that you're going to get. You're just going to be somebody who prompts AI to do stuff, and then you don't actually know the skill. Where AI is very handy is when you already have the skill, and then you're able to even prompt, you know how to correct, you know what the AI is doing, and you can even change some stuff. And AI could list 100 things and you could pick like 2 or 3 that are important to you and you make use of it. But one thing that my mentor always consistently told me is make use of AI as a research tool, because searching on the web, on the internet, like when you go to Stack Overflow or you go to Geek for Geeks or you go to Reddit or you go to all these other platforms that help developers, when you go to this platform, you're trying to scan through so many things, right? And this takes a lot of time. But when you go through AI, one of like either ChatGPT, DeepSeek, or any other one, it just narrows all of these things down and gives you like all the information that you need. Then it's more like a concise package for you to like pick and know what to do. Using AI as a resource tool is going to be very helpful for you as somebody trying to get into web development. Do not use AI as something that does the coding for you. That is basically vibe coding in quotes, and these things never end well, at least for now. It might get somewhere else in the future, but for now, it's basically like pointless. So, but last but not the least, something else I have to talk about is the job applications out there. I think I mentioned something like this in my previous video where I talked about the tech market right now. Well, it depends on your location, but my location right now, every space is filled up. Even developers who are way more advanced than I am, and so many people on so many platforms are crying out for help. Like there is no job anywhere. In broader countries like US and bigger countries like US and some other countries like Australia, you still have these options. You have these applications still open. But still and still, globally, the coming of AI is also affecting jobs in the market, and the alarm is actually very high. So we as people getting into this tech stuff, we really need to up our skills and do more, show more. Like we have to prove ourselves over and over and over and over again. But this is not a reason to give up or whatsoever. But even at that, you still have to keep applying. Like one of the things my mentor told me is when you get to 100 applications, then you know you've started. But until then, keep applying. So never relenting, never quitting, and always keep pushing. That is, I have to just keep doing big things, keep improving your skills. Well, that's all I can say for now. I don't want to make this too long, but please stick around with me. Please share this, like, drop a comment if you have an advice or if you have something that is helpful to anybody in the community. We are building a community of legends. I call you all legends because we are all legends in this space. And thank you for hanging with me. Thank you for sticking with me. See you on the next video we'll be dropping next week. Bye.